All right, guys. So now what I'm doing is I'm actually painting in some line work, and I kind of jumped ahead just because sometimes I forget to record, but that's okay. So yeah, what I'm doing is I took the silhouette image that we made from the beginning, right? And I lowered the opacity so I lowered the opacity so that I can draw over it basically and use my silhouette as the outline or the shapes in order to influence exactly what specifically I want in those areas. Now the silhouette can change with the line. It doesn't matter as long as you're using it loosely, because that is our preliminary work. So we want to use that because it's effective. See, as you can see, there's a few things that I'm doing here. So what I want to do is kind of just make sense of these strange details, these silhouette details, these silhouette textures that I said before. And yeah, we just have to draw it out. Let me get the brush that I was using before. Yeah, here it is. I think this is the one. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, we don't have to stick to these things permanently, but they do help. And since we were using a lot of the hard brushes, we're gonna go back to hard brushes. So let's see. Now this area back here, I want to do something special. I want to say that like there's kind of shrubs and leaves and stuff that are blocking it, right? I want to imply that. And but I really want this background area to be glowing, like a kind of purplish maybe. I mean, that's what I imagine right now in my head. Another thing you have to consider is that potentially your drawing will change, and that's okay because we're exploring, and exploring the image is always part of the process, because every new step involves you applying new ideas, new things to your image, and that's going to cause chaos. And every time we introduce something and we introduce chaos, we have to order it back. We have to order it back so that we understand where we're going with the image. If all we do is introduce chaos, we'll never get anywhere, right? We need to start polishing, we need to start cleaning, so it's a back and forth. It's not necessarily that you apply all the preliminary stuff all at once, because that sometimes can get really boring. Like drawing all of it all at once kind of gets boring sometimes, if you do it long enough or if you do it often enough. Some people enjoy it a lot. Some people just love the line work. Some people just love the painting process. That's why, their styles look a certain way. But for me, I enjoy all the styles. I really like every attribute of it. Like, I love the painting part. I love the drawing part, the blocking out part. So sometimes I feel like starting straight with paint. Sometimes I'll do line work. And it's up to you. It's up to you what you guys really enjoy doing. And you'll naturally gravitate towards it. But overall, there's no shame in messing up your painting and getting dirty with all the tools that you have available in your skill set. So that's line work, just pure paint, glazing, all kinds of different ways you can make the image come to life. So yeah, that's a good tip. Sometimes it's even better to draw really tiny. I mean really tiny. Because when you draw really tiny, your brush strokes are just more confident, they're bigger, they're more expressive, because you have less area to cover. A lot of people aren't used to the things you learn in life drawing, in real life, drawing and painting, where it's like you gotta use your whole arm. In digital, we're confined very much to our wrist a lot of the times, unless you have one of these big things, one of these big monitors. It can be very expressive. I still don't like it, honestly, just for the fact that the smaller you work sometimes, the faster things become. Like, look, like in this kind of setup, I would have to draw from this side to the side, which is, you know, you can express, you can be very loose, but at the end of the day, it takes longer to fill up the image. If you shrink it down and you're looking at it as almost a thumbnail, you can really start to get crazy with it because you don't have to think so much about details. You just think about the big shapes. This tree really wanted to be something special. I think trees are special. There's something cool about just a tree. They grow just like people do. You know? Another thing is, guys, if you go online and you watch professionals draw and stuff, I guarantee you 100% that these guys, you know, they struggle with their image just as much as everybody else. Even if, no matter how much you know, it's still an exploration at the end of the day, and we don't know what we're doing, and we're using references and we're using our imagination to try to come up with something tangible. And sometimes it doesn't work. So it's okay to fail. Some paintings just suck. That's the truth. But sometimes you get something really nice. And when you feel it, you know it. I don't know if this is gonna work, this image, but I trust that it will, because I have made cool drawings in the past. So the more often you draw, and the more often you create something you like, the more confident you're gonna become. The longer we keep things loose, the longer our image has the energy. Well, the more you render, the more you start to suck the life out of it, I think. So you gotta be careful how much you render. Honestly, for me, it's like, if I wanted to look at a piece of real nature, I'd go out into the woods and look at it for myself. But we are painting here, so everything can be expressive. Everything can be just a little bit more than reality. You know, an interesting and valuable thing to know about painting sometimes is that you don't need to fill the whole thing with information. Sometimes you want areas of rest. Sometimes you want nothing in certain areas because, you know, it's gonna allow the person to have a rest, literally, when they're looking at the image. So this is not only compositionally a resting area, but it's also a resting area for the person in the picture. Awesome, look at this beautiful image we're making here. Hell yeah, dude. Trying my best not to swear. There's young people listening here. You guys swear. I don't know if I should make my channel PG-13 or if I should make it E for everyone. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see. Based on your comments, I will judge you. If I think you're young people, like, then I will back off. But I have a bit of a potty mouth, I'm not gonna lie. It's just who I am, you know? Who I is. Now in this part, I kind of wanted brush with some kind of texture, just kind of like a dry brush feeling. I don't know, I tend to feel that Photoshop excels at the dry brush look, but it struggles with the wet on wet and stuff like that. But I might just have an old version of Photoshop. I'm sure they've improved on it. here I just working on the smoke. I wanted to get like this cool kind of purple smoke going on. I just didn't want to have like the normal boring kind of black smoke. It could have worked. I would have done it, but I don't know. Something told me this image really wanted to be super colorful, so I went with the purple smoke. And then I'm just kind of painting in some, trying to get like a stylized flame going, something that matches the feeling of this painting. But I do change it afterwards, around the end of the painting. I kind of want to do a video on just elements, just like painting the elements, and go step by step on how you break them down, how you break down the patterns of these elements, like water and wood and fire and all this stuff. I think it would be pretty cool. Maybe in another video. Something told me to put like a little tower in the back, a little wizard tower or something. Maybe this guy, he just wanted some fresh air, so he stepped out of his little wizard tower and had a night of alchemy in the forest. I feel that alchemy is a pretty cool practice that you can take up. It's basically just like a science, but the science of truth, the science of discovering truth. And I think that can be applied to anything, any craft that you take up, any art, any kind of thing that you want to master. You can apply the alchemical process to it, and it really helps you kind of become more of that person you want to be. Here I'm just painting in a little face in shadow. I'm pretty much coming up to the end of this painting, and so far I think I liked the results. I think it came out very nice. One of the most colorful paintings I've ever done. Luckily I was able to control the color, and in future videos I'll also kind of talk about how to control color, how to think about color. It's a whole topic in itself. It's a huge topic, but once you start to understand it, you can get some tasty paintings from color theory. Yeah, I did a few things here to this final image. As you can see, I added a bunch more things, just a little more detail, a little more of the kind of like the small tasty details that'll kind of keep you lingering around certain areas. Yeah, that's one thing that you guys should remember, is just when you add details, the details should group up and mount up around the areas of interest, because that is what pulls the eye as well. And so every kind of compositional element that you introduce to your painting should always, you should always consider that you want people to look at a certain area, so that's where you should push the compositional elements most, in those areas. Otherwise it should be like a resting area. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this painting. I hope you guys learned something, or a few tips here and there. I'm getting better at making these videos. I suck pretty bad at this kind of thing, but I'm getting better. So hopefully in the future I'll have more of a kind of like a recipe to make just quality good videos for you guys. But otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Let's make some art.